Hello, everyone. This is Erin Morgan. I am the editor-in-chief of Eyecare Business Magazine, and I am here today with my good old friend, David Friedfeld, the president of ClearVision Optical. Thank you for joining us today, David. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you for having me and looking forward to a quick 15 minutes of fame.
Well, you are always great to chat with, and you guys have some really exciting news to share with us today, I know. But first, I want to ask you about what's going on behind you. This is some really cool words. Are you in the ClearVision offices?
Right. So, interestingly enough, I'm in one of our ideation rooms. This one's called Dream Big. And some people maybe think that this is a background for my Zoom call, but actually, that's a wall.
Oh, I love it.
And these are words that inspire us inside our company, all from employees. And then we had decals put up on the wall. So, we're in a great place to have a great conversation about new ideas.
That's exciting. Awesome. Well, thank you. And I know you have two new collections that are coming out. And we're going to be covering those in the magazine as well in our September issue. But you're going to share a little bit about those collections with our audience today. Can you please? Well, first we'll start. There's a kids collection, and
Yep.
that collection is called Demi and Dash. And we know you have Dilly Dally. We've kind of covered that, and the market has really embraced that collection. This collection is for kids age 7 to 12. Why is that the next, kind of why that progression for you guys?
Okay, so probably two main reasons. Number one, we did have a very good and still have a very good teen and young adult collection, but that we were missing something between that 7 to 12. And a lot of our customers were very happy with the features and benefits of Dilly Dally. So we spent a few years in developing what might be next. So, by example, we have two different parts of Demi and Dash. Um, Demi being the female and Dash being the guy, but unisex. One of them is a 180 hinge, so it's completely flat. So we
Wow.
have four boys frames, four girls frames here, and this is we have metal frames and acetate frames. And the second frame collection we call is twisties. These can twist
Those are
in any
great.
direction here too. And what we have here is a grown-up version, if you want to call it that, of a what we call IntelliFlex hinge. It's a rubber hinge that works in all directions, 180 degrees this way, 180 degrees that way, so you can twist it around. And this allows for parents to select either part of what they want. When we surveyed our parents, we found that actually durability was the thing that they wanted most in kids' frames. So
Wow.
for us, it was the connection between our teenage frames and our dilly dally frames, the pediatric frames. Second reason, and is a very exciting news for everyone out there, is there's a myopia epidemic, as most ODs will know, and that means where we used to consider that 25% of any kid between age 5 and 17 would develop or exhibit myopia. That statistic today, by recent published statistics, is about 42%. So for ODs, there's going to be a great number of children coming in with
Definitely.
myopia, and our products will be perfect for those kids.
That is great and great timing. And we, as I had mentioned to you a little earlier, we just ran our reader survey for 2023, big survey we do every summer. And myopia management, of course, top of mind, top of the list for ODs across the country. So great timing on that collection. You guys have a very long history in pediatric eyewear as well. So that I'm sure informed the collection too.
Yeah, actually, I was talking with my wife yesterday about the history of what we did. My dad happened to have two favorite parts of business that he developed back in the 60s. Strangely enough, kids frames and half eyes. Half eyes, of course, became today's readers, and it's a whole different kind of world. But kids frames, we've always been known for. We had our own just for kids frames in the 80s, non-branded. Then we did Fisher Price for many, many years. Then we did, Dilly Dally, which is our own brand, and Demi and Dash, which is our own brand.
That's great. Yeah, Dilly Dally is a fantastic collection too. We love that collection. We've worked with a lot in our photo shoots. So we look forward to working with Demi and Dash, and that's a great next progression in terms of the age range. So so just to reiterate, it has two sub collections: the
Yep.
180s, which you showed us, and the flexies.
Flexies. Yeah, flexies.
Flexies. That's great, and they are unisex, so boys and girls both have the 180s and the flexies.
Right. And we do have all the typical support material that you want, cases and sorry, frame cases, small displays, this uh, let's see, display cases,
Gotcha.
items such as this, like
Oh,
this.
cool.
So everything that you need to help promote the brand we have to
The
help
branding
help.
is very cool. I like the colors and the fonts, and the branding of Demi and Dash looks really
Yeah.
great. Very
And
modern.
you could also find it on our website. What we did here is very nice. So anyone that goes, we have a very, 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 very active website for the consumer, not for sales, but just for information on Dilly Dally. And now that person will be also able to go back and forth between Dilly Dally, Demi, and Dash, which
Ah, okay.
a lot of other big retail brands have, where they have 3 or 4 brands under one roof. You can go to one website and kind of look at all the brands together. We have that right now as well to help drive consumers into retailers that are doing business with us.
That's great. Well, and I see our team in the back end studio here has put into the comment bars here. So, folks, if you're watching, you can click right on that link. There's a link to learn more about the new Demi and Dash collection right in the comments section below our live stream here. So, click on there and check it out for more information. So, I know you're going to share. This is pretty exciting. You have a new women's collection as well, David. Um, it's called Adira. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, Adira.
It's That's a beautiful name. What kind of inspired you guys to create a brand that celebrates women?
So it's again a longer story in the company, but if I was to shorten it down for everyone today, we understood that some of the women's brands that we had already, some of the licensed brands, which we've had almost for 20 years, maybe had run the course, and our decision was, we want to have an owned brand, an independent brand, or do we want to have a licensed brand? And when we surveyed our customers, we understood that what's most important to our customers is product quality and design, not necessarily the brand name. So we understood that we could take a chance, perhaps, and go with an own brand rather than a licensed brand. We developed that over a period of a year. It was very, very exciting in the development because, again, we worked a lot with customer feedback. Completely new colors were introduced into our company, new designs into the company. And what
Fantastic.
we found was there was some part of our business that ClearVision never really addressed, which we now see as more of a fashion part of the business for women. So ClearVision traditionally was more in the middle of the road. Adira has what we call 4 stories. One's elevated fashion, one is career, one is classic, and one is fresh essentials.
Oh,
So
nice.
something that we would have had, difficulty doing years ago might have been something like this. I'm not sure if the audience could see it very easily, but a really interesting lamination with purple
Beautiful.
in a very, very particular shape.
Love that
This was
shape.
something that probably was missing from our branding. And sometimes, depending on the license you have, you may not be able to move in that direction. So we found that by having an own brand, we actually could have greater creativity. We could work with something that we did very nicely in our company was always, this particular product has a lot of stonework on the side. We always were doing that nicely, but we wanted to upgrade from where we started in the late 1990s or early 2000s with that type of product. We also have more of a career, things that are pretty easy, pretty simple.
Very pretty
That
color.
works out. That works out very nicely. And then again, what we would call fresh essentials, a little bit of a younger look.
Nice.
If I said soccer mom, I hope I don't offend anyone in the audience. Rather than saying, "Hey, that's me. I know what you mean. I happen to have a minivan. I'm driving from place to place. I also work, but I need something that's not as career oriented, not maybe
Right.
as blinged up. I just want a pair of glasses that's fashionable." So we kind
Yep.
of looked at these 4 areas, and as you saw, we developed them. and each one was developed for the particular category. But what works nicely is for the retailer, we have 48 styles in the entire collection. That's one of the largest women's
That's
collections. In
great.
fact, that's the largest women's collection we've ever put in the market. And what you're able to do is be able to merchandise completely. If you like 12 or 15 of one look, you could get that one look. But if you want to mix looks because your office was a little bit smaller, you can get 2 or 3 or 4 of each look, and the collection would hold very nicely together because
Right.
everything's been designed with that in mind.
Oh, that's nice. So it's easy enough to merchandise the even though there's 4 sub-collections, you can
Yes,
merchandise that all together nicely in the office. That's a
absolutely.
great
And
story.
one of the things I love is the case is pretty easy. It's a hard case that also is soft, has a magnetic cover.
It's
But what I like
beautiful.
about it is when you put this in your purse and you take it out, everyone else at the table is going to say, "What's that?" Because
Yeah,
most people don't spend enough time on accessorizing the brands they have. They maybe have a logo on the front, but
right.
the case itself may be rather simple. This purple is really beautiful, and that's the
Love
color
it.
of the collection. That's the color of the collection.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Really cool collection and a great, kind of focus there. I know that you kind of also very supportive of women in the industry. You have a lot of fantastic women that we work with at ClearVision Optical. I know you guys have something to mention about your involvement with the Optical
Sure.
Women's Association.
Sure. So one of the things that we realized early on by not working in a license collection, we would have some additional funding that we could put towards marketing or put towards, ClearVision Optical is a highly philanthropic organization. And early on, we came to I think it was in an ideation seminar, or rather a grouping, that somebody said, why don't we look for a female oriented I don't want to say charity, but a female organization that we'd be able to
Mhm.
help promote their mission. And we had 3 or 4 on the table. And somebody said, "What about the Optical Women's Association? That would be something that's great." So we are making a significant contribution this year to the Optical Women's Association that will be used for a couple of different things for them to help promote women in their organization through educational grants and otherwise. And we're very, very excited to partner with them. And we look forward to doing this for future years as well with OWA. And we're exploring with their leadership how that would be done. So anytime somebody buys one of our products, they're supporting optical women in the Optical Women's Association as well.
That is fantastic. That's really exciting, David. The Optical Women's Association, as you know, is near and dear to my heart. I've served on the board of directors. I've headed up their communications committee, and it is just such an amazing organization in terms of mentoring and providing support for women, and like you said, education in the industry. So that is a really cool alignment, and so cool that the collection is going to support that too, a women's collection supporting women. And for anyone that's interested to learn more about the OWA, it's opticalwomen.com. And also, I see the ClearVision team is awesome in the back end studio here. They've also put up the link for the Adira collection. So that's in the comment bar again down here, as well as the link for the new kids Demi and Dash collection too. So, David, so cool to learn about these collections. Is there anything else that we didn't cover that you wanted to share with the audience about any of the
Yeah, yeah,
collections?
yeah. I think in closing, I would say 2 things. One, about the women's collection. The other part that I'm really jazzed about, I think I might be able to hold up 2 different pieces of POP. Um, we photographed not only the 4 sub collections, but women doing different things. So each sub collection represents a woman in either a part of her life or 4 different women.
Oh,
So,
wow.
here's one woman, here's
That's great.
another woman, and you can imagine that, what we're doing here
Beautiful.
is giving our retailer different ways to merchandise. And I think for the kids product, what I thought was pretty cool, like don't break this when I hold it up, is an easy display, window display to
Oh,
basically
that's
tell everyone,
great.
hey, I'm in the business of kids.
Yep.
Because again, sometimes the kids' displays are not paid much attention to, but this one is a nice window display or counter display that works very easily.
That's great support for the eye care professionals for their offices, for sure. Thanks for sharing those. I love to be able to show what you've done and show the product and show the displays, and the point of purchase material is really cool.
Thanks.
Brand support there for sure. So, well, always a pleasure to chat with you. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I look forward to seeing you soon. We'll be, gosh, before you know it, we'll be at Vision Expo West, and you guys will have all these collections there, right?
Yes, and at Vision Expo West, I would tell everyone to come by our booth because some really exciting things. And Aaron, you were part of that beta test at East for the
Yes,
3D printed eyewear. We've made
really
fantastic and unbelievable progress. And when we come to West, we'll be doing the same thing, which is anybody who gives us a print, anybody who wants to participate, get a free pair of 3D printed eyewear, will participate in a social media event, and they can come to the
amazing.
show and pick up the eyewear that they would like for us to print for them, customized with their own background, their own colors, which is
Oh,
really
that
exciting.
is great. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. All right. Well, I'll be sure to be at the booth. I want to check that out because it was really cool at East. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, David. Great to see you. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks to our audience for joining us. Again, go to these links, check out these new cool collections from ClearVision Optical, and we'll see you again soon.
All right. Bye, Mom. Bye.